What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Seahawks today is presented by PrizePicks. I am your host, Will Ortner. And on today's video, we are going to discuss the Seahawks schedule. No, I'm not going to go through every single game because we already did that video. I'm going to go through every single game and give my way too early prediction. And at the very end of the episode, I'm going to let you know what I truly think about the Seattle Seahawks. And look, I might be a bit biased. I think we're going to be in a very good spot this year. I want you to manifest it, though. You know, here on Seahawks Today, I've been getting really into manifestation. Maybe it's the special lady friend. Maybe it's just me getting older. But the great Will Ortner, that is me, of course, we are going to try and manifest the Seahawks having another great season this year. So hit the thumbs up button on today's video. Super simple, super easy. Just smash that thumbs up button because you want the Seahawks to have a great season. All right, we're going to start with a look at the schedule as a whole. We're going to go through the first 8 games here very quickly. So, Seattle, they're going to open the season against the New England Patriots week 1, then taking on the Arizona Cardinals week 2, week 3 at the Commanders. Now, I know the start to the year, that's 2 games on the road and then obviously a weird Wednesday game against the Patriots. The Seattle Seahawks should very clearly be able to take care of business in those 3 games. Week 4 against the Chargers back at home. Sneaky more difficult game than people realize. Also, a bit of a situation where it is the master versus the student. Jim Harbaugh obviously was the head coach at Michigan when Mike McDonald was the defensive coordinator over there. So a little bit of a Harbaugh coaching tree game there. Week 5 against the 49ers. That's going to be a really fun game back in Lumen. Seattle going to take care of business, in my personal opinion. Week 6, Thursday Night Football against the Broncos on the road. Interesting game there. Kansas City Chiefs, Sunday Night Football, return of Kenneth Walker versus the Bears, Week 8, Monday Night Football. Week 9, taking on the Cardinals again. Nice little easy troll here because you get Cardinals and Raiders back-to-back. Now, Raiders, I do think that they'll be an improved team. Seattle should be able to take care of business. Bye week, Week 12 against the 49ers on the road. Returning to the scene of the crime where the Seahawks won that Super Bowl in the home stadium of our hated rivals. Week 13 against the Cowboys, Monday Night Football. That'll be a fun matchup there. Week 14 against the New York Giants. Can't let them get into a weird game where they get a victory like they did a couple of years ago. Saturday against the Eagles, Week 15 on the road. Week 16, Merry Xmas to those who celebrate against the Rams at home. Rams going to be in 2 of the final 3 games for the Seahawks. Obviously, Seattle traveling to SoFi Week 18 and Week 17, Seahawks taking on the Panthers. So let's go through the first 4 games here, and I'm going to give you my predictions on who will end up coming away with a victory in these matchups. Week 1 against the New England Patriots. Come on, son. Come on, son. We're not letting the Patriots come in and get revenge like Chat Sports host Brett Alper said they're going to do. That would be an absolute travesty. Seahawks take care of business going 1-0. Week 2, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Again, come on, son. That team is a dumpster fire. When Jacoby Brissett thinks that he has enough leverage to hold out against you, well, shoot, your team's not doing all that well. Week 3 against the Commanders. Interesting matchup. Dan Quinn, obviously the head coach over the Commanders, used to be the defensive coordinator with the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks, it's on the road. I don't care. Jaden Daniels, he ain't getting the job done. Seahawks are going to be able to take care of business and get a victory there. Week 4, taking on the Chargers. This is an interesting matchup, and I do think that the Seahawks are going to be in kind of a bit of more of a dogfight than most people would expect. Now, when we look at the records last year, Seattle obviously taking care of business, but let's look at that Chargers team, 11-6, and that wasn't a very good Chargers team if we're being 100% honest. A lot of injuries on the offensive line. A lot of injuries at QB because Justin Herbert's getting hit a bunch. They completely revamped that offense with Mike McDaniel. I think that Chargers team is going to be better. And I think they have a real shot at, surprising some people. They ain't surprising the Seattle Seahawks. So we're getting a victory. We're going 4-0 to start the year. I really just believe that this Seahawks team is going to be fantastic, and they're going to continue to have a lot of success throughout the year. We've got more games to go in and predict, of course, but I got to let you know that this show is made possible by PrizePicks. And right now, I actually want to take a look at my lineup for the entire season going on in football next year. Now, this is a bit of a fun one. We were just talking about this matchup. I've got the more on Justin Herbert's pass yards. Why do I have this? Because I think that Justin Herbert is going to have a much more improved version of that Chargers offense. More health is going to be there on the offensive line. So I do believe that Justin Herbert will have more on his passing yards. I have the more on Quentin Johnston's receiving touchdowns. My reasoning for this is, well, if the offense for the Chargers is improved like I think it will be, well, then Quentin Johnston should have more opportunities to have more receiving touchdowns. That's why I have the more there. Now, Rashid Shaheed, he's had the last offseason to work with Sam Darnold and the rest of that offense there in Seattle. In my personal opinion, there's a good shot for him to have a better chemistry in Seattle with that offense, and that is why I have the more on his receiving yards. Play alongside all of us at Chat Sports. Get $50 when you play your first $5 entry with code HMA. Link is also available in the comments and description of today's video. All right, week 5, we're back into the schedule and the fun there. 49ers, I think that the Seahawks know that they need to be loaded for bear. They need to be ready to go in this matchup, and there's no way that they can let the 49ers come out on top. That's going to be a win for the Seahawks. Now, this is the first of the 2 gauntlets that the Seahawks have to deal with, and in my personal opinion, this is where things can get a bit funky. Now, a Thursday night quick turnaround for the Seahawks against the Broncos. Broncos really good last year. If Bo Nix is able to stay healthy, really watch out in that matchup. And unfortunately, I do think this is where the Seahawks end up having their first loss. It's just a game where you are focusing in on the 49ers. You have a quick turnaround. Weird things happen. You're on the road. Mile High is not an easy place to play. And that Broncos team is really good. So I do have that as my first loss. Week 7 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Seahawks, they are going to be loaded for bear for this one as well. Patrick Mahomes is going to be back. Is he going to be as good as he has been in the past? I don't know about that. I also look at this Kansas City Chiefs team and any chance that the Seahawks are going to have to get after Kenneth Walker, they are definitely going to take a shot at it. So I think the win is going to happen there. Week 8 against the Bears on Monday Night Football. I think that Bears team last year had a lot of things go their way, and they're good. And I think they're going to be good this upcoming year as well. Probably make the playoffs. But I certainly think that there are going to be some big games that they won in the past that are not going to go their way just because, like, at some point, the luck has to run out to a degree. So I've got the Seahawks with the victory there against the Chicago Bears. Fun game. It also is nice that when you go through this little gauntlet here, most of these games are at home for the Seattle Seahawks. Be honest, what game do you think will be the most difficult for Seattle? Is it going to be maybe that game against the Broncos on Thursday Night Football, sandwiched in between 2 big-time games? Is it going to be that Christmas game against the Rams? Let us know what your personal opinion is on what game will end up being the most difficult for Seattle, because I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of games that could be interesting. Maybe you're going to say it's that Monday night game against the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe that is a game that you could see being a bit more difficult for the Seahawks. Let us know what your opinion is down below in the comment section. Week 9, Seahawks taking on the Cardinals. I mean, come on. That is a game that is definitely going to be an easy win for the Seattle Seahawks. Going into that bye week, you got week 10 against the Raiders. Raiders are going to be much improved. Obviously, Kubiak is someone that's going to step up in that organization, make them a better team, make them a better roster. But in my personal opinion, I just don't see a way that the Las Vegas Raiders get a victory against the Seahawks, even though that game is on the road. So I've got another win there. Week 11, Seattle gets a later bye week this year, which is a big thing for this team. So I'm certainly very excited about it. I've got the Seattle Seahawks coming away with a victory in the bye week because, well, it's just simple. You get the win because you get a nice little rest. And it's a later rest in the season. Obviously, Seattle's going to have a lot of games that are going to be very, very difficult on the back half. It's nice to have a late bye week. Week 12 against the 49ers again on the road. By this point, I think half of that team will be hurt, injured, and even if they're not, who frickin' cares? It's Seattle over the 49ers. Duh. Of course the Seahawks are going to find a victory there. Week 13 against the Dallas Cowboys. This could be a fun and interesting matchup. Now, it's a Monday Night Football game, and I know a lot of people weren't necessarily expecting this game to be maybe as big of a marquee matchup. Now, it is important to note that when you are talking about the Dallas Cowboys, they, of course, are America's team, or at least that's what Jerry Jones claims. And because they are America's team, that does lead to a lot of primetime standalone games, which the Seattle Seahawks this year have an absolute crap ton. That's the exact measurement, by the way, a crap ton. That Cowboys team, I'll tell you right now, they were 7-9-1 last year. But really, I equate a lot of that to the lack of success from the defensive side of the football. Now, they got rid of Matt Eberflus, a.k.a. Dweeberflus, and they are going to be an improved defense. I believe that when you look at the NFC East, you are going to see a lot more improvement from a lot of teams over there, specifically the Cowboys and the Eagles. One, I think the Eagles are just going to gel a little bit better, especially once A.J. Brown has probably moved on from. And with the Cowboys, it's simple. If they stay healthy and that defense takes a step forward at all, they are going to be able to probably win 4 or 5 more games just simply because they are a much improved roster. So to me, when I look at that Week 13 game, the Dallas Cowboys come away with a big fat L. Because, of course, the Seattle Seahawks were going to win that game. Don't even think that the Seahawks weren't going to be able to get a victory there. So from weeks 9 all the way to 13, the Seahawks are going to be able to come away with 4 victories and then a bye week. And in my personal opinion, if you can't end up winning the bye week, I just don't know that you are ready for prime time. And the Seahawks are going to win that bye week because we know that head coach Mike McDonald always finds a way to get his roster ready to go. We have a few more games left to talk about, but I need to let you know that today's show is also made possible by SeatGeek. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Right now, because the schedule has dropped, they've got Seahawks games on SeatGeek. All you got to do is search Seattle Seahawks tickets in their web search. You're going to be able to find a ticket deal. Let's look at that first game against the Patriots. I'm trying to find the best seat in the house using SeatGeek. Found that green dot and was able to find a spot where I would want to watch this game if I was up in Lumen Field. Whether it's a Seahawks game with a special lady friend or a Co-Wetzel concert with the boys, SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. And of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you so very much to SeatGeek. We're ending the Seahawks schedule with a boom. Week 14 against the Giants. Seattle's going to take care of business there. Obviously, John Harbaugh is going to have that team much improved. And here's the thing. Harbaugh, Mike McDonald, they obviously have a history, a relationship, another student versus master type of situation. But I'm telling you right now, I do think that the Seahawks end up taking care of business. Now, Week 15 against the Eagles. That's going to be short rest on a Saturday. Now, the reason it is on a Saturday is because both the Eagles and the Seahawks will be a part of those Christmas games, right? So when we look at this Seahawks-Eagles matchup, having to go all the way across the country is going to be brutal. I think this Eagles team is going to have a better locker room vibe just because A.J. Brown will not be there anymore. I know that he hasn't been moved on yet. I think he will be moved on from. And so, look, that's just a really difficult game. You're getting ready for this big gauntlet. You have to go all the way across the country. Plus, you have to get ready to play the Rams twice in 3 weeks. So to me, that might end up being that second loss there for the Seahawks. And it makes sense, right? That's a very good team, short rest all the way across the country. Week 16, taking on the Rams and the Ramley, or whatever their stupid nickname is. It's going to be the last game of Christmas. Really fun matchup, in my personal opinion. I think the Seahawks find a way to come away with a victory. And in my personal opinion, I think that we're all having a very wonderful Xmas, even if you do not celebrate it. Week 16, that's going to be a dub. Then the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to be taking on the Carolina Panthers. Again, all the way back across the country, going to the East Coast. In my personal opinion, I don't see a world where the Panthers come away with a victory. Obviously, it is a team that is much improved. They made the postseason last year. Don't care. Seattle still comes away with the victory. And then, of course, in that very last Week 18 matchup, Seahawks on the road against the Rams, taking care of business. I think that we beat them so bad in that Week 16 game that Week 18 is an easy win for the Seahawks. And Seattle comes away with another massive dub. In my personal opinion, this Seahawks team is still the best team in the National Football League. You brought back 20 of your 22 starters, and the guys that you replace them with, whether it's free agency or the draft or any of the other moves that John Schneider has made, this team has gotten better, and you just won the Super Bowl. The mainstream media, or the lamestream media, I should say, continues to come out and say that the Seahawks are not as good as the Rams, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. We are the best team in the NFC. 15-2 is easily going to be the Seahawks record again, and in my personal opinion, it's not just Seattle being the best team in the NFC. They are the best team in the entire National Football League. There is no world right now in my way too early predictions where the Seahawks do not end up as the top team in the NFC West again. They are going to find a way to go back-to-back because we've got the right head coach, we've got the right players, the right culture, and frankly, everyone else, they're just trying to be us. The problem is, they're not us. We're the best team in the NFL, and we're going to be treated as such at the end of the year again. Make sure that you tell your special lady friend or guy friend in your life that, hey, we're going to have to celebrate Valentine's Day on Saturday, maybe even celebrate Valentine's Day on Friday, because we're going to be hanging out with producer Searle and Will Ortner and the Seattle Seahawks on Valentine's Day, because we're going to be hoisting a Lombardi. Hit the thumbs up button on today's video if you agree with me. If this is your first time checking out what we're doing here on the channel, subscribe. We've got CS content every single day you do not want to miss. Hit that sub button. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Cannot wait to see you next time.